Hey everybody, today is about figuring out how I can contribute to your life better. And the best way I know how to do that is to give you some information, give you some training, specifically on how you can really get started fast. I learned something in my early career, and I'm going to tell you a lot of stories over the course of this training, but I learned something in my early career, and that's this. Success loves speed. Success loves speed. See, we hear these fairy tales, these little anecdotes, these little stories that says it's better to be the turtle than to be the rabbit. Slow and steady wins the race. Inch by inch, it's a cinch. You can't beat a person that won't give up. Yes, you can. You can beat a person that won't give up. All you got to do is be faster than their sorry little slow ass. Seriously. Slow and steady does not win the race. Now, don't get me wrong. Consistency has its place. Some of you have been around this profession for a long time and you've been crawling along. If you're tired of crawling in your network marketing career, this hour is for you. That crawling is not serving anybody. You playing small is not serving the world. It's not serving you. It's not serving your family. It's not serving the world. The world's not served by you playing small. And that's what crawling is. This little inch by inch, it's a cinch. You can't beat me because I'm the turtle. Now, so I'm clear on this. Just understand, consistency has its place. You need to have a baseline of activity that you do every day, that you stay consistent with every single day. But occasionally, like now, this first quarter of 2020, you need to shock the system. You need to just have a crazy burst of activity. You need to just totally be obsessed. You need to go all in. You need to do something completely outrageous. And whether you're stuck in your business or you're stuck in your personal health or you're stuck in your workouts, have you ever hit a plateau in your workouts and then you just decide to change the intensity to be able to get past that plateau? Same thing. In business, and especially in network marketing. Especially in network marketing. See, here's the thing. I'm gonna draw some art for you. Let's say this is the runway at McCarran International Airport here in Las Vegas. Okay? This is the runway at the airport. And here is the airplane. And let's say you're a pilot and you get into this airplane, but you're a part-time pilot and you're only flying 45 minutes to Los Angeles. Okay? You're in this airplane and you're part-time and you only have a small goal of getting to Los Angeles. So you're on the runway, you're ready to go, you're strapped in, and you say, okay, because I'm a part-time pilot, I'm going to give it 10% gas. What's going to happen? Will you get movement? Yes. You'll start to move down the runway. Inch by inch, it's a cinch. You'll be the turtle moving down the runway. Congratulations, you have movement. Maybe you get a customer. Maybe you sponsor a person. You know, you go to your company convention, you get movement. But are you ever going to get off the ground with 10% throttle? Yes or no? Are you ever going to get off the ground? The answer is no. You are not going to get off the ground. You're going to get to the end of the runway and you're going to go, well, this isn't working. Network marketing doesn't work for me. Even though you're part-time, even though you're only going to Los Angeles, right? What do you have to do to get off the ground? It's more than 10% to get off the ground. So you say, well, okay, fine. I'll give it 30%. Now you're just going to get to the end of the runway faster. You're going to get burned out faster. You're going to get discouraged faster. You're going to run out of land to be able to make it all happen faster. But you're still not going to get off the ground. That's just the facts. So to get off the ground, what needs to happen? You need to have 100% effort for takeoff. To get to a different altitude, you have to have a moment where you give it 100% to get to that different altitude. So you say, well, that's not reasonable. Why? I can't give it 100%. I'm part-time. I can't give it 100%. I'm only going to Los Angeles. I can't give it 100%. I haven't been a pilot that long. I can't give it 100%. All these different excuses. And you can have the excuses, but you need to own the results, right? So if you don't give it 100%, you're just going to stay on the ground. And you're going to be frustrated. And you're going to be discouraged. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't get off the ground. Network marketing doesn't work. My plane is broken. My fuel has a problem with it. My compensation plan doesn't work. My product doesn't sell itself. All these excuses. My upline doesn't helping me. None of those things are the real problem. The problem is you haven't given it 100%. So some of you are part-time, you're a little overwhelmed. You're just like, how do I give it 100% when I'm part-time and I'm a single mom and I'm dealing with all this stuff and I've got all these different obligations in my life? How do I figure this out? You don't have to, here's the answer, and you need to understand this. You don't have to do the 100% forever. You just need it to get to a different altitude, and then you can level off. And then you can go back to part-time. You could put it on cruise control if you want to. You can go to the bathroom. You can have a meal. You can read a book. You can talk with your family. You can do all different kinds of things. During takeoff, 100% focus, 100% effort of the available time that you have, and then level off, right? And then, if you want to get to another altitude, then you can go hit it again, another 100%, and then level off. And this is typically how it goes inside of network marketing, is take off, get to an altitude, level off for a period of time, rest, develop your team, train people, get it going, and then do it again. Even if you did 100% for a burst of energy. Now in takeoff, this is like what? A minute, 2 minutes to get it up there. You use up a lot of fuel. Some people might say, well, this works so good, this 100%, I'm just going to keep it at 100% throttle. Well, you'll burn out your engines, you'll burn up all your fuel, and you won't have a good life. So there's necessity to do the 100% and then be the rabbit and then be the turtle. And then be the rabbit and then be the turtle. You understand? So quit making the hero out of the person that's staying on the runway for forever, because people will say, if you never quit, you'll win. That's a complete lie. I know tons of people who have been on this runway going around and around and around and around and around and around and loop-de-loop on this runway, back and forth, back and forth. They go to all the conventions, they use the products, they've been hanging around, their family is saying, what's the matter with you? Why are you still working this business? You haven't making any money. And and they're the walking dead of network marketing. They're just like, I'm still here. You can't beat a person that won't quit. You can sure discourage them. You can sure frustrate them. You can sure make them feel bad about themselves. I mean, dude, this is no life. I'm still here, still using the product, still going to convention, still, talking to people. I got a tiny little team of other Walking Dead people that are following me around the runway, because if we don't quit, we're going to win. Not true. You can lose real bad, real bad. So I'm going to give you some statistics right now. And I don't want this to intimidate you, but I believe that the truth sets you free. I believe the truth sets you free. And I'm not going to leave you here stuck on the runway. I'm going to give you my suggestion on how you can make this year the best year of your careers, the best year of your life. Okay? And if you haven't by now, put a comment or smash that share button. Let people know that we're doing this training today. Hit the watch party button, hit the share button, whatever it is, so other people can hear this. This is the most important message I have for the entire network marketing profession in 2020 to really kick it off strong. Let me give you some statistics on what the truth is inside of network marketing. Can I do this over here? We're still good? Okay. This comes from big data inside of network marketing. In other words, all the people who joined, the big data from this says 70% of all people who sign up as a distributor inside of network marketing recruit zero. Recruit zero people. They're using the product, they're kind of a glorified customer, but they're using it themselves and they just haven't figured out the skills necessary to recruit somebody to be able to help them change their life, okay? So 70% recruit zero at any one moment in time. 20% recruit 1 to 2 other distributors in their organization. I'm not talking about customers. 20% recruit between 1 and 2. This is at any one moment in time. 5% recruit 3 to 5. 3% recruit 6 to 9. And 2%, 2% recruit 10 or more. Now, are there things that we can do in order to be, because some people are really called distributors and they're not distributors. They've never had any intention of being a distributor. They're just using the product. You have lots of those in your organization, I'm sure. But the game starts here, and the game really starts here. You want to get involved in network marketing. You want to make this an income-producing activity. You want to create a career. You want to be able to change your life, create an income, whatever. You got to get into this group. This group. Okay? The group that's recruited 10 or more people in their business. Now, this group drives everything. This is the engine. This is the group of people that we find leaders and develop leaders from. This is the group of people that want to change their lives. This is the professionals. These are the full-timers. These are the people who really want to go make it happen. And I'm sure everybody watching this wants to be able to make it happen. So I'm going to teach you specifically, but let me tell you something about this 2%. This group recruits 70% of all recruits. In your company, this group is recruiting 70% of all the recruits. This other 97 recruits the other 30%. This group averages 27 recruits over the course of their careers. At any moment in time, they average 27 recruits. 70% of all recruits happen here. So if you're involved in network marketing, you want to have success, you want to really kick off this year, what do we need to do? What's step one? We need to get you into this group as quick as possible. And if you're already in this group, we need to refresh it. Bring in a fresh class. Bring in what I like to call the class of 2020. Bring in the class of 2020. So in the big data kind of reports, they call this group super recruiters. I don't know if it's super recruiter, but 2%. So if you're not in the group, you got to get in the group. If you're in the group, you got to do it again. Go do it again. Bring in the class of 2020. Okay? Now, I got to tell you something. This thing gets me fired up because I've been training people for my whole career, but specifically kind of training the world for the last 10 years, 10, 11 years. I've been involved in network marketing since 1988. And when I went back, can you move that thing over so I can see what we're doing the other way? Thank you. 1988, I got involved. And, you know, if you're involved in network marketing for a period of time, there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some things that would surprise you in the development of what really creates a career. And I like paying attention to what really works, not just what sounds good. And when I looked at my career as kind of like a case study, and I looked to what were the seasons or what were the things that I did that created the most results. What were those things? And I found a pattern that I'm going to share with you in a moment. And then I said, well, I wonder if that happened just for me or if it happened for other people too. And if it happened for other people, I wonder if that same, if there's a trend here. And here's the trend that I found that I'll share with you. Almost all of my success, and in the field inside of network marketing, I earned over $15 million. Okay, so I'm not just talking about theory. I've done what you've done. I know what it takes. I work with most of the $1 million earners in the world. I coach and mentor companies and $1 million earners, six-figure earners around the world more than any other person alive. And I don't say that to brag. I'm just trying to make the point that this phenomenon has repeated over and over and over and over again. And I'm going to share it with you. And that is, if I look back to what created more success than anything else, it was a time when I recruited 20 people or more in a short period of time. And when I really looked at it, it was 30 days. The times when I recruited 20 or more in a really short window, a burst of activity, hardcore, went after it, went crazy, most of my success was connected to that season. Crazy. Totally crazy. So, and I've done this probably, I don't know, 10 times in my career when I was in the field, 10 times, did a 20 and 30. I didn't do it every year. I wish I would have. I should have. I didn't. But when I work with, whether it's top earners or brand new people, my biggest push is to encourage them to go do 20 and 30. 20 and 30, 20 and 30, 20 and 30. Okay, go do that because that's going to create a lot of results for you. Now, why the 20? I don't know why. I didn't know when I first looked at this. Why was it always around 20 in this short period of time, usually around 30 days, that created all this results? Something happens when there's this burst of energy and you really go after it hard. The quality of people changes. Your quality of your work changes. All different kinds of things change for the better. And you end up getting better results in a much shorter period of time. Let me break it down to you, kind of give you an example. This is around the success, love, speed idea. So if you got 30 days over here, and you have, let's say, 30 months. over here. And you've got 20 recruits. Okay? Same 20 recruits. You can either bring them in 30 days or 30 months. What's going to happen? If you bring them in 30 days, here's what's going to happen. About 12 of them, on average, will do something. You're going to think that you got 12 lines of sponsorship. You're going to think, hey, I got 12 leaders. 8 of them are immediately going to go into the witness protection program. They're going to disappear. You don't even know where they are. You thought for sure they were going to do something. But 12 of them are going to do something, okay? But you don't really have 12. After 90 days, you've got about 8 that look like you got 8 good leaders, okay? The other 4 have kind of faded. Looks like you got 8 after 90 days. After a year, you've got 4. And one of the 4 is doing 50% or more. One of the 4 is doing more than half of all the rest, okay? Typically after a year. And if you don't believe these numbers, talk to your upline, talk to your top earners in your company, have them measure this, have them see if this isn't real. This is 30 years of understanding what's going on. 12, 8, 4. And if you go out 5 years, you've got about 2 rock solid superstar lines. 2 out of the 20. Okay? 12 will do something. 90 days later, you got 8. A year down the road, you got 4. One of those 4 is a superstar doing more than half of the volume of the other 3. 5 years down the road, you got 2. You really boil it down. Okay? So tell me if this isn't true. If you've done this yourself, if you've ever brought in 20 and 30, I want you to answer 2 questions. Okay? 2 questions. Question number 1. If you've done a 20 and 30, and you're following this right now, if you've done a 20 and 30, what percentage of your income over the course of your career, I want you to put a percent in the comments. What percentage of your income over the course of your network marketing career can you attribute to a season when you brought in 20 or more in a short period of time? How much of your income? Because I did it like 10 times over the course of my career. I will tell you it's 90% of my income came from those 10 times when I brought in 20 or more in a short period of time. 90% for me. What is your percentage? What is your percentage? Put a percentage into the comments. What percentage of your income can you attribute to a season when you brought in a bunch of people in a short period of time? What percentage? 90%, 90%, 100% of my income comes from the 20 and 30. So very true. Wow. Almost 100% from Troy. He's a $1 million earner, by the way. Almost 100% came from one of these seasons, right? Almost 100. Now, I could get $1 million earner after $1 million earner on the phone, and they will tell you 80%, 90%, 70%, 95%, 80%, over and over and over. So, okay. Now, if you do it in a short period of time, this is what you can expect. If you do it in 30 months, same people, you're going to have 8 that say, yeah, I'm going to do something. You're going to have 4 about after 90 days. In a year, you're going to have 1. And in 5 years, you don't know. Same 20 people. Now, why is this? Why is this? Same 20. Same context, same background, same experience, same charisma, same personality, same opportunity, same compensation plan, same product, same team. Why are these 20, if you bring them in, one every 6 weeks, are they going to get this kind of result? If you bring them in 30 days, they're going to get this kind of result. What I learned is there's an intensity. There's an intensity that comes, and an excitement and an urgency that comes from a burst of activity in a short period of time. This burst of activity will serve you. When these people all come in, if you bring in these people, one every 6 weeks, let's say, person says, I'm going to be the turtle. I heard what you're saying, Eric. but I'm going to be the turtle. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm just going to recruit one every now and then. Every single one of those people feels like an orphan. Every single one of those people feels alone. Every single one of those people feels abandoned. They just do. But if you bring the same group of people in a 30-day period of time, they all get to know each other. There's some sibling rivalry. There's some competition. There's some relationship that gets built. There's some communication that happens inside the organization. They learn from each other. They're growing together, right? Plus, they're seeing all kinds of success because you're leading by example. You're leading by example by bringing in this whole class of 2020 and helping them grow together. You have to be ready. You know, here's what I hope that you're watching this on New Year's Day, or if you're watching replay, whenever you're watching, is that you're ready. You're ready to go do a 20 and 30. You're ready to make the decision. Happen if I stopped being a tourist in network marketing, I decided to really go after this. What would happen if I really gave it 100%? What would happen if I hit full throttle to get off the runway and got to an altitude? I stopped crawling in network marketing. What would happen? Okay, so I want to ask you a couple questions here. What's the value of 20 and 30 for you? What's the value? Number one, are there any upfront commissions that you would receive from the products sold from these people coming in? Would there be any upfront commissions from the product purchases that people make? Take that times 20 and put a number in there. Got it? What are the upfront that you would earn? Times 20. Number two, any other bonuses you'd earn? Times 20. What would that number be? Number three, extra customers. We're talking about recruiting 20 distributors in 30 days, but while you're doing that process, would it be reasonable to expect that you're going to add some customers that say, I'm not ready to become a distributor, but I'll be a customer? Take those customers, and what would that earn you from those customers joining? Over the next 12 months, if you bring in 20 and 30 in the first quarter of 2020, over the next 12 months, what would that be worth? Just estimate. I'm not going to hold you to it, but what would it be worth over the next 12 months? Lifetime. What would that be worth? Now, for me, I can tell you my 20 and 30 experience was worth about $13 million. That was for me. I'm not saying it's going to be worth the same for you, but you know, the top earners, what was the burst of activity? What was that worth over the course of your lifetime in your career? 13 million for me. That's a big number, right? 6. Would you rank advance by doing this? Would it be likely that you would rank advance? What would that mean? How much extra would you earn from rank advancing? My guess is it would be very difficult for you not to rank advance if you did this. Number 7, would you be a role model? I get leaders all the time saying, how can I get my team to do more? You know how you get your team to do more? Lead by example. You do more. Show them. Think about the ripple effect of you being a role model and you bringing in 20 people in 30 days in the first quarter of this year and you documenting the process. Document the process so they can see it. So you're not just trying to squeeze all the potential out of your team, but you are going to go do it. You're going to show them. How many people will you inspire? How much more activity will you create? How many more customers? How much bigger is your team? How many more people are going to attend your conventions? How many more people are going to rank advance because of your role model? You leading by example, you facing your fear. And even if you've been around for a while, listen, I understand once you've been around for a while, it's really fun and it's kind of sexy to work with the team, hang out with the team. And it's not so sexy to go get in the trenches again and go bring in a new class of 2,000, all these new kindergartners, this new little team, right? You got all these kids running around with all their different issues. You're changing diapers and you're, dealing with crying babies and they're waking you up at night and all that stuff, right? But you want to it's easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. Instead of trying to raise the dead with your existing group, go give birth in the new decade with a new team by being a role model. Number 8. Prestige. Your reputation. What's the impact of you building? I promise you, you go bring in a 20 and 30, first quarter of this year, your company's going to know your name. They're going to hear about you. They're going to hear about what you're doing. You're going to be on the leaderboards. You're going to be talked about. And here's why prestige is important. You say, well, it's not about me. It's not about me. Here's why prestige is important. If you develop a reputation, a positive reputation, you develop some prestige in your organization, here's why it's important. Your team will be proud that they're involved with you. And when they're proud that they're involved with you, they'll take more action. When I built prestige in my career, my team became proud that they were part of my team, and they started to want to earn my time. They started wanting to perform. They started wanting to get closer to my proximity, get involved in the inner circle, all that stuff. So what's the total of and there's more benefits. What's the total? What's required? And as I'm doing this, it's really cool. We got a big group of people watching this and more people are going to be watching replay. But before I get into the whole list of requirements in order to be able to do this, how many of you have already decided in the 30 minutes that we've been talking, how many of you have already decided slow and steady over a long period of time? If you love them and want them to win, bring them in with a group of people in a very short period of time. Here's what's required. 1, you got to decide. Make a decision that you're going to do this no matter what. Whether or not your team does it with you, whether or not your upline supports you, whether or not your family understands it, you got to make a decision. I'm going. I'm doing it. I'm not going to be stopped. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, you got to be hungry. This is one of the attributes that I look for and I teach leaders. There's 2 attributes that I teach leaders that are absolutely necessary. A person needs to be hungry and coachable. Hungry and coachable. Okay? Willing, hungry, coachable. If you're hungry enough, see, I don't need somebody, if I'm working with you and you want to change your life and you want to bring in 20 and 30, for example. Let's say I'm in your living room and I'm coaching you step by step. What I'm going to be, it won't help if I move in and you're not hungry. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm busy right now. And if you're not coachable, if I give you something to do and you don't do it, I can't help you. You can be as hungry as you want, but if you're spinning all over the place, if you're a pilot that says, no, I have my own, I haven't gone to pilot school, but I'm just going to go this way. I want to put the brakes on and see what happens and see if the plane takes off. If you're not coachable, I can't help you. If you're not hungry, I can't help you. But here's the other side of that coin. That's all you need to have is hunger and coachability. Because if you have that, doesn't matter who you know, doesn't matter what success you've had or what failures you've had in network marketing. It doesn't matter your education. It doesn't matter whether you have a support system. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter what company you're involved with. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is that you're hungry and coachable. Okay? That's what's required in order to be able to do this. If you make a decision and decide, now in a few minutes I'm going to show you how I can help you if you want. Now, if you want me to help you change my whole life, I want to tell you something. When I got involved in network marketing, I was nobody's prize. I was 23 years old. I was scared to death. I was behind on my bills. I was behind on my promises. And I had 18 jobs prior to getting involved in network marketing. At age 23, 18 jobs. Okay? I have a 1.8 GPA from high school. I was in the bottom 20% of my class in high school. Okay? Went to one semester of community college. Didn't know anybody, scared to death. And network marketing changed everything for me. Really, and no kidding. The life I live now, which is a ridiculous life, is that I was willing to look fear right in his eyes and say, I'm going to do it anyway. I was able to look and see other people that did it and say, you know what, if they did it, why not me? Why not me? Why do I have to live in this life of where I'm scared of the mail? Because I can't afford the bills. And I'm embarrassed all the time to my family that I can't provide for them the way that I want to provide for them. And I'm embarrassed for the stupid, miserable car that I have to drive. And the house that I have to live in. And I'm always kind of feel like I'm begging in the world instead of why not? Why do I have to get everything on sale? Why do I have to find the cheapest restaurant? Why can't I just walk into a car dealership and pick the car out that I want instead of the miserable one that I can afford? Why do I have to worry about gas money? Why do I have to carpool with somebody else to a job? I just got tired of that. This was my ticket out. This. Face your fear. Lean into it. Embrace it. Just decide you're going to get better. You know, if you're not willing to face your fear, we're in the fear management business, just make no mistake. This is scary. Yeah, you need some coaching. Yeah, you need to be hungry, but this is still scary. If you've been involved in network marketing for 10 months, you recruited one person. Recruiting 20 people in 30 days feels like recruiting 1 million. Might as well go to the moon, right? But here's what I got to tell you. If you're to change your life, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be peaceful all the time. It's not going to be smooth. You got to be willing to be messy while you figure it out. It's not going to be perfect, you perfectionists, if you got to figure it all out. Look at this. Done it, done it, done it, done it, done it, done it. Done it, done it. Right? Done it multiple times.